that's pretty relaxing. Okay. What was the first use of the word J-E-S-U-S? Where did it show up first in a prominent way? This word J-E-S-U-S is well known around the world, yet it has no meaning in any language. It just keeps moving and changing the letters. The letter J is less than 500 years old. Of course, it derived from the Yod in Hebrew, which is a Y, like in Yahuwah or Yah. Hallelujah, that's a Y. And then it moves into the Greek language as a Greek iota. And then sometime in the 16th century, it grew a tail when it was used as the first letter of a sentence, or the name of a proper noun, the first letter in a proper noun. It just happened, like recently. The J sound is a consonant. J, J. In Spanish, can be a hey, like a H sound. Well, anyway, the letter J is less than 500 years old. The S-U-S component of the J-E-S-U-S name sounds like the Hebrew word for horse, sus. But it also sounds like the Greek version of the Nimrod name, Z-E-U-S, the sky deity. See, Nimrod became all the solar deities, only their names were babbled. The King James Version, or the Anglican Catholic Authorized Version, used the IESV, which is actually I-E-S-U in Latin letters. The V is a U in Latin. They borrowed it from the Latin Vulgate, which they translated from. They were translating from the Latin Vulgate. It had been in use for 1,200 years since Hieronymus had translated it back in 391 through 403 CE. And in the first edition of the King James Version, we see the Latin letters IESV, which is a Christogram. It's underlined. And I'll put a picture of that up here so that you can see the first edition and how the IESV is underlined. So it stands for the name of a deity, but it's not the name of the deity. It's just standing in place of it. But later, we begin to see J-E-S-U-S in subsequent printings of the King James Version. You're using one probably from the late 1800s. That's not the original one that you're seeing. It went through dozens of revisions. Probably the first to use the name J-E-S-U-S lived during the 16th century, whoever it might have been. And I'm going to offer a proposed person that may have originated that spelling. It developed from the form IESV that was used since the 4th century, meaning nothing, of course. It doesn't mean anything in any language. It developed from that early period, and it developed from the form IESV. And the greatest secret held by the secret society started with the whisperers. And Inigo Loyola is a good candidate for being a promoter of the word J-E-S-U-S. In 1541, which is the 16th century, he founded a militant order called the Societas Jesu, also known as the Society of J-E-S-U-S. This is the Catholic, okay? Inigo Loyola, I'll put his face up here. Let me see if I can. Yeah, okay. Here's an excerpt about him from Wikipedia. Ignatius of Loyola, S.J., Society of Jesus, or J-E-S-U-S, venerated as Saint Ignatius of Loyola, was a Spanish Catholic priest and theologian who, with Peter Faber and Francis Xavier, founded the religious order of the Society of Jesuits, later known as the Jesuits, and became its first superior general in Paris in 1541. He envisioned the purpose of the Society of Jesuits to be a missionary work. In other words, go to foreign countries and teach them what they believe. And teaching, in addition to the vows of chastity, obedience, and not obedience to the Torah, but obedience to the Pope, and other religious orders in the circus, that's C-H-U-R-C-H, Loyola instituted a fourth vow for Jesuits of obedience to the Pope, to engage in projects ordained by the pontiff. Well, later they started taking over, Jesuits, that's a black pope, Jesuits were instrumental in leading the Counter-Reformation. In other words, the damage that was done by the reformers, particularly Martin Luther, who was originally a theologian in the Catholic circus himself. But he opposed, of course, indulgences and certain other things that were just wrong. I think it were 95 things that he had a problem with, like purgatory, buying indulgences. As a former soldier, Ignatius paid particular attention to the spiritual formation of his recruits and recorded his method in the Spiritual Exercises in 1548. He was moving pretty fast because he just established the order in 1541. In time, the method became known as Ignatian spirituality. Now, I would call it spiritual captivity. Anyway, Societas Jesu, or the Society of Jesuits, was created to be a counter-Reformation militant order of the Roman circus. It was originally dubbed in a bull from the papacy, Regimini Militantis Ecclesiae. Militantis, Latin for to the government of the circus militant. And it was the title that the papal bull promulgated by Pope Paul III on September 27th, 1540, issued permission for the formation of the new order. This bull gave the first approval of the Society of Jesuits, also known as the Jesuits, but at that time limited the number of its members to 60. Now, this is where it gets really strange. Adam Weishaupt, also Society of Jesuits, SJ, was a Jesuit priest teaching theology in Bavaria until the order was suppressed by the Pope in 1773. Now that's 3 years before 1776. The Pope was poisoned immediately, yet the suppression of the order remained for many years. The Bavarian government also banned the order in activities in their country. In 1776, Adam Weishaupt, the same guy, renamed the Society of Jesu, calling it the Illuminati, which is why I always say the Jesuit Illuminati. I put a hyphen in there, but they're known by many other names, like Knights of Columbus. They have lots of names. They're secret societies. It's one under the control. It's many under the control of one, the Black Pope. He's the Jesuit general. The nobility of the governments of the countries of Europe joined this elitist organization, the Illuminati, in large numbers and complete ignorance, not knowing it was renamed only the renamed Jesuit Order to continue its nefarious activities under a new disguise. That's what makes it a secret society. People don't know what they don't know. Thanks for watching. And I hope you watch our other videos and like and subscribe. You might learn something. See you in the next video. Bye.